Early Bert Show listener, she is leaning on you. She wants some advice here on how to keep her wedding. This is what she says: from becoming an MMA fight between her birth dad and her stepdad, man.
She got my attention.
These divorces, man. I mean, when they're going on, I mean, everybody wants to stay together, but you don't realize, like, the obstacles that last not only 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, especially when you have kids. Like, yeah, okay, so they say till they're 18. No, that's obvious that there's going to be, potentially weddings, potentially grandkids. Like, this is a forever kind of thing.
So how do you make sure the birth dad and the stepdad are both feeling good on the wedding day? That's really what she's looking for here. 1-855-BERT Show. Kristen's got the email.
Hey, Bert Show. This is about a wedding, and after listening to you guys for the last 10 years, you would think I would have learned to just elope. That is accurate, because that's what Bert says all the time whenever we have wedding drama.
I'm starting to feel it. I am starting to feel it.
As a man who's planning his own wedding.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel it.
You're not even taking your own damn advice.
Haven't even started the planning yet, and I'm still feeling it.
But that isn't the case. My fiance and I just got engaged, and we are so excited. We aren't really in a rush to start planning yet, and instead are just enjoying being engaged. One thing that keeps stressing me out, however, is what to do about my dad's situation. My dad and I aren't too close, but we aren't distant either. We talk on the phone every couple of weeks and visit about once a year. He lives on the West Coast. We live on the East Coast. I also have a stepdad. For all intents and purposes, my stepdad is my dad. My stepdad and my mom have been married since I was 5 years old, and he basically raised me along with my mom. Whenever I talk about him, I always refer to him as my dad. Which you do, right, Mo?
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
You don't even know this family. Why are you calling this dude dad?
Really?
That's how we're going to start.
That's how we're going to
All right, let's just pretend it didn't
out the
happen.
gate. Okay.
The issue is that my birth dad hates my stepdad. He's always blamed my stepdad for the reason he and my mom split up, even though that is 100% not the case. I know at weddings there are a few special moments between a bride and her dad, like walking down the aisle and the daddy-daughter dance. I don't know what to do in this situation. I want my stepdad to be a part of this because he is my dad too, but I know it will absolutely crush my birth dad if he isn't the one to do these things with me on my wedding day. I've thought about splitting the time 50-50, but honestly, I don't really like the idea because I think it would be pretty awkward, and I also know it will be about who goes first. I should also mention that my birth dad has a drinking problem and has been known to cause a scene when he drinks too much. I know a situation like this would definitely set him off. On the other hand, I know how much it would mean to my stepdad to be able to share in the moments with me as well. He would definitely tell me to do whatever would make me happy and that he is all right with sitting out if necessary. My stepdad would never say it because of the additional stress it would cause me, but I know it would hurt him to not be a part of it. The one topic causes me more stress and anxiety than the rest of the wedding planning put together. Do you have any advice for me? I know this is a really specific scenario, but maybe some of your listeners have had similar situations. I would really appreciate any help. Also, Bert, for Eliza's sake, I hope her bio dad is as cool as you are so she never has to deal with this when her time comes. What would you do in this situation? Thanks so much in advance.
Ooh, that's good.
Yes, you weren't prepared for that last one, were you?
I wasn't. No, Eliza's 7. This is not on my radar. 1-855-BERT Show. If you guys have a couple of seconds, this is pretty common, I think. I'm assuming here, I mean, we're really looking down the road, but my role in their family really feels like a secondary member, and I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. You know what? She's got a dad that takes care of her. She's got a great mom that takes care of her, and, at first I think I was offended by the bonus dad statement, that everybody was joking about, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
I feel like anything that I can lend is kind of added, but I know my place. So now he is very involved in her life, and they have a pretty decent relationship and everything. So if it stays the way it is, there'll be no controversy for her whatsoever. But
I feel like this situation's a little different considering her stepdad is the one who practically raised her since she was 5.
Right.
And while she does have a relationship with her father, it's not a tight relationship.
Yeah, and that would change things a lot, I think. I mean, you might be the best to speak to this.
This is tough, man. It honestly is something that I think about every time I have any kind of event where both of my dads will be there. It hasn't been a wedding yet, but I do understand the dynamic of this all. So for me, listen, my stepdad, who I don't call a stepdad, in all actuality, raised me for the majority of it. So that's my dad, and that's just the way I see it. And it's not a slight to my father. My father is still in my life now. We have an amazing relationship, and I do intend to have both of them to celebrate any of my accomplishments. But at the end of the day, my father is just going to have to realize that this is a man who has put in the time and the work and deserves all that he gets from me, period. That's just it. And if he can't accept that, then I'm not going to make my dad suffer because of that. So if I were in her situation and my father couldn't understand that this moment is going to be about my dad just as much or even more, then he would have to be the only one who suffer the consequences of that.
Yeah, this is kind of loosely connected to something Katie said yesterday also that really I thought about later. And usually when I'm thinking about stuff that was on the show, it hits me in a level that I'm like, okay, let's really try to figure out what's going on here. And I said this yesterday also, that the apathy that you show towards your kids when they are young will result in them not being connected to you when they are older.
And the only person you can blame is yourself.
And the only person at the end of the day you can blame is yourself. So here, this thing here is all upset by a situation that her father has really developed. And it's kind of heartbreaking, right? But he started this whole thing. He has developed this result.
Okay, yes. And we know this. And she knows this. But he may not know this nor accept this. So while we're on the same page, he is not. So what can she do to ensure her wedding is drama and MMA free?
I don't know.
Man.
That's...
If she truly believes that he can't come to the wedding and put his grievances aside, like she genuinely believes that, to the point where it's going to ruin her day, I wouldn't invite him.
I agree with you, man.
I wouldn't do it.
I agree.
So my suggestion is, if he has shown this behavior before and has with drinking and has made scenes before, I see nothing wrong with having a one-on-one conversation with your dad and be like, here's the deal. And if you can agree to this, great. If you can't, then I can't have you at my wedding.
He may back out of the whole thing himself. He'll be so offended maybe. So, yeah, I think that's the only thing you really can do.
And if he's offended, that's not on her. That's on him.
Exactly. 100%.
The Bert Show.
So, first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.